So there once was a time where I only used my kit lens, and it's actually the lens that I'm using to film right now because the lens that I normally use is right here in this video. But after a while, after learning my camera and learning about different things about photography and filmmaking, I noticed that I needed another lens. And the two things that I was mainly looking for was a lower aperture, which means I needed to let in more light, and also the image quality. So the first lens that I stumbled upon was the 50mm, which is also called the Nifty 50, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people have heard about it already. So I stumbled upon this lens from watching the Peter McKinnon video, as most people probably know about him right now. But I know that I needed a lens with a lower aperture, and so this was the first lens that pretty much like attracted me to it. Mainly because of the price, because it's only, I think, $125 in the US. And also that the aperture went as low as 1.8. And I know that my kit lens only went to 3.5, and that was only from like a certain millimeter point. So this was kind of my best bet. So with the aperture being as low as 1.8, this Nifty 50 was good for photo and for video, but I mainly saw that it was great for photography. So I found myself taking a lot of portraits, a lot of outdoor portraitures, and a lot of graduation pictures. And this was just like the perfect lens for that. The depth of field was nice, and it was an all-around great lens. It wasn't too heavy. And because I was just kind of starting out, it's not like hard to kind of operate. So this was my first choice, and I think it was probably the best choice of buying a lens after the kit lens. I also use this. I also use it for video too. Like I shot, I think I shot a wedding. Yeah, I shot a wedding with just the 50 lens. This was the only other lens I had, so I had no other choice. But I shot a wedding, and I shot, I think, 2 or 3 short films with this, and it was great because I needed a lot of the background to be blurred out, because 50mm kind of gives you a nice shallow depth of field, so it kind of blurs out the background a lot. And I found that it was nice for photo and for video, but mainly I would say for photography. But one big problem that I came into was that it was too close in certain situations. Like, especially if I was indoors taking pictures, or if I was indoors doing video, I noticed that it was just too close and I needed something a little bit wider. So that's when I started thinking about another option for a lens for me to get. So I noticed that I really use this lens for mainly photography and of course for video, because the aperture was so low. But the next lens that I wanted to purchase was something that I could really use for video. And that's when I came across the Sigma 18-35. So this lens took me a while to buy because of 2 reasons. Mainly because of the price, because I think it ranges from, I think out of the, like a new lens, maybe like $800 to $700 or something in that range. And also I wanted to make sure that I was making a great purchase, because besides this one, this was the only like lens that I have bought besides the kit lens, and I wanted to make sure that I wasn't like wasting my money on a lens. So it took me a long time. I did so much research on this lens, and one thing that I found out was that a lot of filmmakers and videographers that I love and that I follow, they use this lens also. And I saw that it was a professional lens. I saw people had it on red cameras and like various types of cameras, and I mainly saw it used for video, and that's something that I wanted a new lens to take over. I mainly needed it for video. I needed something to make YouTube videos. I needed things for to make videos as far as indoors, whether I was doing short films or other type of videos that allowed me to be in tighter spaces. So there was a lot of time in between me getting this lens and purchasing this lens. I bought this lens in 2018, and I actually just got this lens this year, and that was mainly because of that refund check. But yeah, so this lens took me that long to get, and I also kind of wanted something to replace my kit lens, but I know that I needed something with a lower aperture. And I thought this was the perfect choice. There was so many other lenses that I thought about getting, like a Canon version or just other lenses. But I saw really good reviews on Sigma, and it was much cheaper than buying like a Canon version of this lens. So after, it's only been a couple of months, but I'm pretty satisfied with this lens. It's been great for filming my YouTube videos. The quality is great. The low light is great. It's like really heavy, so it's extremely hard to balance on my gimbal. But I think it's a great choice for video and also for photo. It also surprised me. I didn't think I would be using this for photo that much, but I did do a photo shoot. I think I did maybe one or two photo shoots with using this lens between like 24 and 35 millimeters, and they actually turned out really good. The quality was great, and overall it performed well with photo and for video, but mainly for videography and for filmmaking. So if you're like me and you're doing photography and videography and filmmaking, these lenses I think are the perfect choice. And when I say perfect choice, I mean great for portraits, especially for outdoor portraits. If you're taking pictures of couples, if you're taking pictures of individuals or families, I think the 50 mil is really great. And for video, especially if you're in tight places, and for photo as well. If you're in tight places and you find yourself being indoors a lot, or you're shooting wide scenes, the Sigma 18-35 is, I think, a perfect choice. It's way more, it's a huge price gap in between these two lenses, probably about a couple $100s. I got this off of eBay actually for around $600, which is still kind of pricey. Especially like it's kind of pricey because my camera is only a Rebel T7. I'm not like, you know, like up here with spending money on gear, but it was a really good purchase, and I know I'm going to be using it in the future. So that's another reason I got it. I know it'd be an investment for my business and for you know, my skills and everything like that. So thank you for watching. If you have made it this far, don't forget to like and subscribe and comment if you want to, or if you're into that. That would be cool. That would help me out a lot. And I'll see you in the next video.